Nobody expected a lightsaber to ignite in the middle of the food court. Shoppers froze. Kids screamed. And then, the battle began. The mall was already loud before anything insane happened. December lights blinked, Christmas music looped endlessly, sales banners swayed slightly in the air conditioning. The smell of cinnamon pretzels mixed with fried chicken and a strangely aggressive perfume sample drifting from the beauty kiosk. People hurried from store to store, arms full of shopping bags, wallets crying for help. It was chaotic, normal, predictable, until it wasn't. Near the food court fountain, a figure in a long black hoodie walked with slow, deliberate steps. He didn't behave like a shopper. He wasn't looking for deals or food or somewhere to sit. He moved like someone with a mission, silent, focused, cutting through the crowd like a shadow. At the opposite end of the food court, by the ice cream counter, another hooded figure entered. Blue hoodie. Same slow walk. Same strange focus. Their eyes locked from across the space. People noticed. Not in a dramatic way at first. Just curious glances, side eyes, whispers. Are they filming something? Is this a prank? Bro, why are they walking like Sith Lords? The mall's normal buzz softened as more heads turned. Something felt scripted. Except no one had rehearsed anything for today. No announcements. No special event banners. Nothing. Black hoodie stopped beside the fountain. Slowly, he pulled his hand out of his pocket. Kids nearby gasped. Parents tensed. And then, Teach RRMM. A neon red lightsaber burst to life, humming loudly, vibrating the air around it. Light reflected on the polished floor tiles. Shoppers near him stumbled backward. What the? No way. Dude, that looks real. Before anyone could even process it, across the food court. Whoosh. A blue lightsaber ignited in the hands of Blue Hoodie. A collective gasp swept through the mall. Two glowing blades. Two masked faces. Two figures walking toward each other with the slow, cinematic pacing of a space opera duel. Security guards at the far end froze mid-step. One of them whispered, "We don't get paid enough for this." Phones came out instantly. Kids climbed onto chairs for a better view. A teenage boy yelled, "Oh my god, yes, finally something cool happens in this mall." Blue Hoodie lifted his saber into a ready stance. Black Hoodie turned his blade downward like a villain preparing the opening strike of a duel. "Don't do it," someone murmured. "Dude, they're totally gonna do it." The mall's chatter stopped completely. Even the Christmas music seemed to lower itself out of respect. For a heartbeat, everything was still, suspended in pure tension. Then, Black Hoodie sprinted forward. Blue Hoodie sprinted to meet him. The crowd scattered, screaming and laughing all at once. And just as the two fighters swung their glowing blades at each other, the fountain behind them exploded upward, spraying water like a dramatic backdrop. Cliffhanger ending line. And that's when everyone realized, this was no ordinary prank, it was about to become absolute chaos. The first clash sent sparks across the mall. People ducked, screamed, and filmed all at once. The impact of red and blue sabers colliding echoed like a thunderclap. Sparks, real sparks, flew across the tile floor as the two figures launched into a duel that looked far too professional to be improvised. They moved quickly, too quickly. Spinning, dodging, leaping. They fought around kiosks, weaving between confused shoppers, sending shockwaves of excitement through the entire food court. A kid holding a slice of pizza yelled, "This is the best day of my life." A woman dove behind a table, clutching her bubble tea. "This feels illegal," she whispered to her friend, who was gleefully recording everything. Blue Hoodie lunged forward with a sweeping strike. Black Hoodie actually flipped, over a stack of trays and landed smoothly on the fountain's edge. Water splashed dramatically beside him. "Oh, come on," a man shouted. "Nobody just casually backflips in real life." Blue Hoodie leapt onto a chair, kicked off, and flew toward Black Hoodie with a mid-air slash. The hit knocked both of them spinning to the ground. Security guards tried again. "Hey, Stop! Put the laser sticks down. They approached slowly, unsure if they were breaking up a fight, interrupting a film scene, or walking into a sci-fi war. Black Hoodie extended a hand. A wave of air blasted outward. Security guard number 1 flew backward 3 full steps. Gasps erupted. He just force-pushed him. No way that's real. Bro, we're in Star Wars. Red met blue again, blades locking in the air. A shower of sparks lit up the space between them. Kids screamed in delight. Adults screamed in confusion. The entire mall turned into an audience without realizing it. Blue Hoodie kicked Black Hoodie backward into a stack of shopping baskets. They crashed loudly, sending baskets rolling like plastic shrapnel. Black Hoodie sprang to his feet, flipping his saber in a villainous flourish. Across the mall, near the escalators, someone shouted, "Hey! Another one!" The crowd turned. A third hooded figure stepped forward, moving calmly, slowly, like he was waiting for the perfect dramatic moment. Then, Fwum! A double-bladed red saber ignited with a roar. The entire mall screamed in unison. No way! They got Darth Maul in here! We're gonna trend on TikTok for a year! He twirled the dual blade expertly, sending rings of glowing red spirals through the air. Blue Hoodie and Black Hoodie stopped fighting. Both turned toward the new threat. Red versus Blue had been crazy enough. Now it was about to become an all-out three-way duel. The double-bladed fighters sprinted forward, and no one was ready for what happened next. Just when the mall thought it couldn't get crazier, a double-bladed red saber hissed to life. The double-bladed fighter hit the ground running, twirling his weapon so fast it blurred into a glowing red circle. Blue Hoodie ducked just in time. The blade sliced clean through a stack of napkins on a food court counter, sending a confetti explosion across the air. The crowd roared. Black Hoodie rolled sideways, springing up behind a potted plant for cover. Red Saber Guy vaulted over the fountain, planting a perfect landing that made several people shout, "Bro, hire this man for the actual movies!" All three fighters clashed at once, red, blue, and red again. The sound of sabers filled the mall, humming, crackling, vibrating through everyone's chest. They fought around tables, on top of chairs, between kiosks, even down the small steps near the smoothie bar. Shoppers dove for cover, laughing and screaming simultaneously. A toddler clapped happily as he sat on his father's shoulders. "Daddy! Real Jedi!" Even the mall employees got swept up in the chaos. A worker from the toy store ran out wielding a cheap plastic lightsaber. He joined the circle, screaming, "For the Republic!" His plastic blade snapped instantly on the first hit. Everyone cheered anyway. Red Saber Guy spun, using momentum to knock Blue Hoodie backward over a bench. Black Hoodie slid under a table and popped out the other side with a flying kick that knocked a tray of nachos into the air. Slow motion. Cheese. Chips. Chaos. Then, all three sabers locked at the same time. A perfect triangle of glowing light. Crowd filming. Security panicking. Children losing their minds. And then, boom. The mall lights cut out. Everything went pitch black. Except those three glowing blades. Red. Blue. Red. Floating in darkness like ghosts. Screams. Nervous laughter. Phone flashlights flickering on. But the fighters didn't stop. They continued dueling in the dark, silhouettes framed only by neon blades. Every strike lit up their figures in brief flashes, like a strobe light battle scene. Fog suddenly drifted through the dark. Someone yelled, "Why is there fog?" The answer was, no one knew. Then, through the fog, a fourth silhouette appeared. When the lights went out, everyone screamed. Three sabers glowed in total darkness, and then came the twist. The fog thickened, swirling around the fighters' feet, giving the entire mall an eerie, otherworldly glow. People backed up against the walls, clutching their drinks and snacks like shields. Someone whispered, "This is too good. Disney could never." Suddenly, boom, boom, boom. Heavy footsteps echoed from the second floor. Everyone turned. On the balcony above the food court, a silhouette stood still, cape fluttering slightly in the rising fog. Is that? No way. Don't tell me that's who I think it is. The figure slowly extended an arm. A deep, mechanical breathing sound filled the mall speakers. The crowd lost it. Vader! It's Vader! Oh my God, they got him too! I'm gonna faint! At that precise moment, the mall's speaker system glitched, crackled, and then blasted the Imperial March, echoing dramatically down the escalators. The lights flickered back on. All three fighters froze mid-pose. And that's when people noticed something strange. The red and blue fighters suddenly moved in perfect sync. Their stances sharpened. Their posture straightened. Their swings became cleaner, controlled, coordinated. This wasn't a fight anymore. This was choreography. Professional. Practiced. Rehearsed. The dancers from the mall's seasonal performance group shouted from across the floor. Are you kidding me? They hired Star Wars people instead of US? The three fighters dropped into a triangle formation below the balcony, crossing their sabers and raising them toward Darth Vader. Crowd. Gasp. Phones. Recording frenzy. Vader lifted both hands. The fighters bowed. And then, thud, 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 thud. Heavy synchronized steps sounded from the top of the escalator. Everyone looked up. Coming down in perfect formation. A squad of stormtroopers. But then someone yelled, "Wait! These guys aren't part of any official event." Every phone turned toward the escalator. What stepped forward wasn't part of the plan. The stormtroopers marched down, boots pounding in perfect rhythm, blasters held professionally, armor gleaming under the mall lights. Their formation tightened as they reached the bottom, surrounding the three fighters in a triangle. Kids screamed from excitement. Adults screamed from confusion. Is this a raid? Are they real? Oh my God, we're in Disneyland Pack Edition! The stormtroopers stopped. One stepped forward and scanned the crowd. Citizens, he announced, voice echoing through a voice modulator. Please remain calm. We are conducting a... He paused. His helmet tilted slightly. Promotion. The crowd burst into relieved laughter. Black hoodie, blue hoodie, and red saber guy dropped their sabers and removed their hoods. They were smiling, drenched in sweat, breathing hard. Someone yelled. This was all for a store opening. And finally, a banner began lowering from the ceiling. Galactic Toys, now open. The crowd roared as employees on the second floor cheered and threw handfuls of confetti over the railing. The store entrance lit up with LED strips shaped like lightsabers. People flooded toward the new store, still recording, still laughing, still vibrating with the insane energy of what had just unfolded. Stormtroopers posed for pictures. Vader dramatically pointed at random children. Blue hoodie performed flips for the crowd. Black hoodie knelt and posed like a Sith Lord. Red saber guy performed a full spinning staff routine that made half the mall scream. Everything seemed perfect. Until a real police officer walked into the scene. He stopped. He blinked. He took in the sabers, the fog, the crowd, the troopers, the blaring Imperial March. Okay, he said loudly. Who authorized this madness? The crowd erupted into screams and laughter. Someone shouted, "IT was 100% worth it!" The officer sighed, rubbing his forehead. Vader pointed at Blue Hoodie. Blue Hoodie immediately pointed back at Vader. The officer groaned louder. But the mall called it a win. People would talk about this day for months. Maybe years. And the videos? They would break TikTok before sunset. Because none of them knew the sequel was already planned.